This roster review is for Leo from Ordum Rebelled. Leo is at 2.6 million galactic power, and he joined in February of 2017. He played for about 6 months, then took a 6-month break, and resumed play in February of 2018. He has been completely free to play. His current goals are chasing the metas, getting the big teams in their second and third runs. He'd like to see if he can improve that to first or second runs. He also wants to improve on guild events to help his guild complete things like the Heroic Sith Raid, which they are able to get done. He's also looking for some help in Geonosis territory battles and to either increase his team's values or to prepare other teams for later. Alright, so Leo's doing pretty good. He's able to come in under 100 in Squad Arena. He's able to hit top 3 in Fleet Arena, so he's making about 500 crystals average per day for free. He's currently running Jedi Knight Revan in Squad Arena, which is still a really good team. Taking a look at this team, I noticed that there were a few issues with modding, such as with Grandmaster Yoda. His Yoda is really slow. It's at 233 speed right now, and I know his Revan is upwards of 270, which isn't bad, but Leo, if you could get your Yoda just under where Jedi Knight Revan is, it's going to make your team a lot better, because Yoda's going to be able to go more. He's your main damage dealer, so you're going to get a lot more damage from him. It's going to just help your team to succeed a little bit more. The other thing that I noticed was your Jolee. Your Jolee also could use a little bit of modding help. He is a little bit slow, so again, if you could put 30, 40 more speed on him, it's going to help. But another thing, when you do that, you're running health mods right now, which is really good. That's what you want to do. But you want to load him up with as much health as you can. Health primaries on the circle, on the cross here, and on the triangle. If you can keep the health sets, but increase the speed and get health primaries, he's going to be a lot more durable, and he's going to be able to heal a little bit better. And on those 3 mods that I told you about, the circle, the cross, and the triangle, get the health primaries and take them to gold. You're going to take that to a plus 16 bonus rather than the 5% bonus. Again, that's going to make him more durable. It's what you're really aiming for here. You're doing really well in Fleet Arena, so I don't want to spend a lot of time here. The big suggestions that I have come from your interest in Geonosis territory battles. Go ahead and work on your Tarkin and your Executrix. Those will be needed. It looks like it's possible that there's another ship coming, and I think what's going to happen with that is we may need the Sith ships to unlock whatever capital ship is coming. Your Sith fighter and Sith bomber, they need a lot of love here, so keep that in the back of your mind to maybe either work on them or be prepared to work on them fast should they announce an event. I'm not going to go through all specific teams. You've got a lot of good work here, and a lot of your teams are doing just fine, so we're going to focus more on how to help you with the Geonosis territory battles, and we're going to help you set up teams that will do better in the Heroic Sith Raid. So here's a quick look at your roster. You've got some really good things like Vandor Chewbacca's finished, Mission's got her Zeta, Nesta's got the Zeta in Gear 11, so you're working on that. There's a lot of things to really be proud of in here. Your Empire's not looking bad, but one thing that I would suggest you work on is your Imperial Probe Droid. Now, I know it's only 5 stars, but I think if you take that to Gear 10, Gear 11, and level 85, work on the abilities, it's going to be a really strong character for you. A team like Palpatine, Vader, TIE Fighter Pilot, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Imperial Probe Droid, they get a lot of work done. They can take out your Zeta Karth teams pretty easy. Not to mention other good teams. The target lock on Imperial Probe Droid is fantastic. He's not just a weapon you put in there to explode. The Galactic Republic is obviously a fantastic team with Padme coming in. You can use Padme, Anakin, Ahsoka, General Kenobi, and then pick somebody. You can use Barriss, you can use C-3PO, even Clone Wars Chewbacca. You don't have Padme just yet, but that's okay. You can work on that. Once you get your Separatists in order, then you'll be able to unlock Padme and get her to 7 stars, no problem. The Padme team should be amazing in Geonosis light side territory battles, so that's something that you're going to want to keep in mind and put some work in on. I noticed you've got Ahsoka's stars finished, a little bit of gear, but Anakin's missing from this list as well. So he's one I think in time, maybe sooner rather than later, you're going to want to think about working on. He also has some very good use in the heroic Sith raid, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Another faction that's going to be important for the light side territory battles is going to be the clones, and your clones are looking a little bit shaky here. Eventually, you're going to want to put some work in on them too. But I'm really going to leave the light side Geonosis territory battle recommendations off the table right now because you've got a lot of work going on, and for a free-to-play player, I don't want you to feel overloaded. I will help you set out a path to work on the characters you need to help you increase your damage in heroic Sith raid as well as get through those waves in Geonosis territory battles dark side. Speaking of territory battles, your Geonosians are a requirement there. You're going to want to get them all to level 85, 7-star, gear 12, possibly some of them gear 13. Great work on your Brood Alpha. You've got him unlocked. You're working on getting the stars for that. Keep going for that one. Very important. You've got Soldier and Poggle at 7 stars, so you don't have to worry about them. Sunfac and Geonosian Spy. Go ahead and work on their stars. They're in the fleet store. Just whenever they show up, make sure you're grabbing those shards to finish off this team as quick as you can. Also, this is a really great team in Grand Arena Championships. I know they're susceptible to being beat by Jawas now, but you never know. I mean, not everybody's going to have their Jawas in a place that can take out that team, and they are very durable. It's going to force your opponent to use something that's going to be uncomfortable for them. Your Night Sisters are looking in pretty good shape. You've got a lot of work done on them. A couple recommendations is go ahead and take Old Daka to gear 12. It's going to make her a little bit more durable, and you can actually run the Deathstorm team in Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith Raid, and that's going to be a Talzin lead with Asajj, Daka, Zombie, and Initiate. Make sure you're not putting any more gear on your Initiate. You actually want her to die. Another option for you with Night Sisters that I would recommend is go ahead and finish off Talia's 7th star and take her to gear 11, gear 12. You could use an Asajj lead with Mother Talzin, Zombie, Old Daka, and Talia in Phase 4 of the Heroic Sith Raid if you do miss Phase 3 or if your damage is better needed in Phase 4. Okay, your Separatists are probably the most important team that you need to focus on immediately. The General Grievous team gets a lot of work done. It's required for the territory battles. It's a great Grand Arena team. It can climb an arena if you're having trouble with some Darth Revan's, Darth Malak's even, depending on, the quality of those other teams. But here, there's a lot of characters that are at 3 to 5 stars. They're not finished. They're at level 1, and they're ungeared. So you've got to consider things like credits. I hope you're saving credits because it's about a little over 6 million credits to take a character from level 1 to level 85. And for a 5-person team, that's going to be over 30 million credits. So Grievous, B2, B1, Droideka, Dooku, all of those need to go to 7 stars. And all of them need to go to gear 12. And I'm going to throw in Magna Guard and Newt Gunray in there as well. They need gear 12. You're also going to need to consider the amount of Zetas that you're going to need on these characters. For example, the Dooku Asajj mission. Dooku really needs a Zeta. It's very difficult to complete without. General Grievous is going to need his unique at minimum. You're going to want to put a Zeta on B1. I think Newt Gunray has a great Zeta. And you're probably going to want to consider a Zeta on B2, possibly Magna Guard. Eventually, you might want to put the Zeta on Droideka as well. There's a lot of work to be done here, and I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. We are going to lay out how to get that work done as efficiently as possible. Your Sith are looking pretty good. Traya is almost finished with her 7th star, and I really wanted to focus on this team because they do get a lot of work done in the Geonosis territory battles. They're able to go through and complete 4 out of 4 on the waves. One team that you're going to want to use is Traya, Nihilus, Scion, Palpatine, and Vader. That's a really good team. If you can save that and not have to deploy in platoons, it will get through 4 out of 4 pretty easily. You're definitely going to want to take those characters to gear 12, though, and make sure that they're durable enough to last. You don't have Darth Revan or Malak yet, but I am very happy to see that you are Darth Revan and Darth Malak ready. So the next time they come back, you're going to be in great shape and you are going to enjoy that team. They're going to wreck in Geonosis territory battles, arena, Grand Arena Championships. Very fun team there. So I just want to show it off because we didn't show all the pieces. You've got HK and Bastila ready, Badstila. And for your Old Republic, look at all those Zetas. Karth is Zeta, Mission, Zalbar, Canderous, Gear 12. You are ready to go. You don't need Juhani or T3, so excellent work. All right, Leo, we've gone through your roster, and I think it's going to be very important that you take some time and consider all of the decisions that you need to make. You know, what's most important to gear and when. You're looking at your Darth Revan team will need to be geared, your Grievous team, your Raid teams, your Geonosians. You've got a lot of stuff that needs to happen, but don't get overwhelmed by it. It's just a matter of prioritizing. Another consideration, like I mentioned before, is the amount of credits it's going to take to get these characters from level 1 to level 85. You're going to have to do that for them all. And you know, if you talk about all the teams that I just mentioned, that's going to be around 80 million credits. So that could be a couple months of work just hoarding credits. So make sure you're not spending those frivolously. All right, Leo, let's talk about how to get all this done without you feeling overwhelmed. I think your first priority has got to be the General Grievous team. Make sure you're getting the appropriate characters to 7 stars, Gear 12, level 85. Grievous, I think you can safely eye a Gear 13, possibly your first Gear 13 on him. This should be the largest focus right now for what you're doing in the game, in my opinion. Your Traya team should probably be second, and the reason that I'm saying that is I think you can go ahead and stick a little bit of gear on them, get them to Gear 12, and make them durable enough that you can complete more waves in the Geonosis territory battles. That's a quick fix, but I don't want it to take away from your work on the Grievous team too much. Once you get your Grievous team in good shape, that's when you go back and work on your Geonosians, at least the gearing. You can start getting the stars that you need for like Sunfac and Spy and Brood Alpha. I don't think that's going to interfere with your work for Grievous too much. But as far as gearing them and getting the credits ready to take them to level 85, it's a little bit of a lower priority right now. And last, I think your raid characters need to be a priority, but I don't know that they need to be the immediate priority. These are the ones that you're going to want to work on. If by some chance you have a piece of gear that's not needed for any of the others, you can work on these characters a bit. Talia is going to help you in the raids. She's a pretty good all-around character, and you've already got her to 6 stars anyway, so you want to go ahead and take her to 7 stars, Gear 12. Your Heroic Sith Raid Phase 1 team is going to be Jedi Training Rey with R2-D2, BB-8, C-3PO, and ideally Finn, but you've got Resistance Trooper and Finn to about the same spot, so I think you can just pick one of those and get them to Gear 11, Gear 12, especially everybody with C-3PO. I think you can slack on him a little bit and get away with Gear 11 and still do some pretty good damage. They'll survive to Enrage. The other consideration is work on Anakin both for the raid and for the upcoming light side Geonosis territory battles. I know you need to unlock him, get him up to 7 stars, Gear 12, level 85, all that good stuff, but he's going to pay off later and also now because you can actually sub in Anakin into a Night Sister team in Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith Raid and completely solo that entire phase. Now, I've got the Darth Revan team here as a 5th priority. It's not really a 5th priority. It's going to be a top priority as soon as you have access to Darth Revan and Darth Malak. As soon as you get those characters, pause whatever you're doing and take whatever time you need to get them all to Gear 12, level 85 as soon as you can. You can even consider Gear 13 on that entire team. I don't think the entire team will need it, but Gear 12, Revan and Bastila and Malak, those are pretty good ones to go after. Okay, so here's a list of how to get some of these shards without overlapping. Your fleet store, your main focus needs to be on your General Grievous team and your Sunfac, Geonosian Spy. Finish all those stars out that way. In Cantina, you need to be solely focused on Brood Alpha until you get him 7 stars. Then I think you can move on to B2 and make sure you round that out. Then go after Anakin. Your hard nodes, start with Droideka, get Droideka to 7 stars. Then you can finish off Talia. If you're doing your nodes and refreshes and you come up with extra energy, then you can put some of that into Talia while you work on Droideka, but I think Droideka's got to be your first priority. You can also pick up B2 shards in the guild store. For your fleet node, finish out B1 first. And I didn't put it here because I don't want to overwhelm you, but consider the Sith Fighter and also Jedi Knight Anakin's Eta 2. But that's down the road. Don't stress right now. I did dig through your mod inventory a little bit, and your mods are a little bit light. I'm not seeing a whole lot of good speed mods, and your speeds overall could use a little bit of work. So I'm going to share my mod farming strategy with you. What I like to do is farm 75% of the time for speed sets, and the other 25 I break it down into sometimes offense, crit chance, crit damage. And you need to be farming mods daily. And I'm going to recommend that you at least farm 8+ mods a day. And if you need to refresh the store, that's not a bad idea. What you're going to do is all of the mods that you get, if they don't have speed secondaries on them, just sell them outright. Your white mods are actually going to be a decent value. The gold mods and purple mods, they don't drop nearly regularly enough to even just say, you know, wow, these are what you're going for. The white mods, however, you can actually get those, take them to level 12, see if you've got speed showing. If not, just sell. But if you've got a +5 speed showing, slice that mod to green. If you hit a +8 or +9 speed on your first slice, that mod's probably not going to go anywhere. Just my experience. But if you hit +10 speed on your slice from white to green, that mod has a really good chance of going upwards of 15 to 20 and better. So I like to slice those all the way up and just take a chance. And most of the time, I think you're going to get rewarded with a really good speed mod. One caution, beware when you see flat defense with speed on a mod. Defense has a high chance to roll. It's crazy. It just rolls a lot more than speed. Not to say that you won't get good speed out of that. It's happened. I've had it happen. So just something to consider. You know, if you're trying to pick between mod A and mod B as to which one to slice today, and you've got an option with one without the flat defense, go with that one first and see what happens. Then come back to the one with defense. Increasing the number of high-speed secondaries on your mods is going to be one of the best ways to up the quality of your entire roster. I like to think of the characters like a sports car. You can have a really awesome body of a sports car. It looks super sharp, but if the engine is bad, the value of that car isn't so good. So you want to put a good engine in it. The mods are the engine. So even though you've got 7-star Gear 12 whatever character, if they're not modded correctly, they're not nearly as valuable or usable. Alright, Leo, that's all I've got for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message and we'll talk about it. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. If anybody would like their own personal roster review, please get in contact with me. I'm going to leave that information on the description below. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. I've got some other stuff coming up soon. I promise it's not going to be just roster reviews. So exciting things are to come. Have a great day, everybody, and take it easy, Leo.